Have you ever felt incomplete? Like a rough draft of something better? This is Stickman, and for him, that feeling was all too real. He lived on a blank page, a world of crisp white emptiness, defined only by the simple black lines that made him, him. But every day, he'd look at his own two-stick arms and his circle head and feel a growing sense of nothing. His world was simple. His neighbors were squares, his friends were triangles, and the sun was just a bigger circle with a few lines sticking out. But beyond the horizon of his page, he could see them. Whispers of color, the suggestion of shading, of depth, of a world so much more complex than his own. He saw figures with muscles, faces with expressions, and landscapes that weren't just outlines. They were finished. And what was he? A doodle, an afterthought, a placeholder for a better idea. The frustration gnawed at him. He was tired of being a symbol. He wanted to be a statement. His first attempt was messy. If complexity was the goal, he'd just add more. He grabbed a stray pencil shaving and tried to draw more lines on himself. A bicep here, a calf muscle there. But the lines were clumsy, foreign. He looked less like a hero and more like a scribble. He tried to walk, but tripped over his own newly defined wobbly knees. This wasn't strength, it was chaos. He erased the extra lines, feeling more empty than before. So, he decided if he couldn't become complex, he would go find it. He began a journey across the vast desk-scape. This wasn't a world of green grass and blue skies. His mountains were piles of forgotten textbooks. His rivers were spilled ink stains, dark and treacherous. He dodged falling eraser crumbs that fell like meteors, threatening to wipe him from existence. He saw the beautiful, complex drawings up close now. They were stunning. A hyper-realistic dragon, a perfectly rendered portrait. But they were static, trapped in their own perfection, unable to move, unable to act. Just as he was about to give up, he heard a tiny quiver. At the edge of the page, a small, frightened circle was cornered. Looming over it was the pink titan, the great destroyer, the eraser. It was coming to smudge the little circle into oblivion. The perfect dragon couldn't move. The beautiful portrait could only watch. They were art, but they weren't alive. Stickman was different. He was simple. He was agile. He was fast. He ran. His simple stick legs pumped across the paper, a blur of black ink. He didn't have muscles, but he had momentum. He didn't have a detailed face, but he had determination. He slid under the shadow of the great eraser and pushed the little circle out of the way. Then, bracing his simple frame, he jammed his stick foot into the eraser's soft underbelly, making it trip and tumble away, leaving a harmless pink smudge. He had done it. He, the simple doodle, had saved someone. In that moment, he understood. His simplicity wasn't a weakness, it was his superpower. It gave him freedom, it gave him speed. He wasn't a placeholder, he was potential. He returned to his own side of the page, not with a sense of defeat, but with a newfound purpose. He might just be a stickman, but he could be a hero. He could build bridges with his body, help a fallen triangle, or just stand with a lonely square. He learned that it's not about how you're drawn, but about what you do with the lines you're given.